Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin and today I have my buys and buys for November. So I did get this video idea from another YouTuber. Her name is Anne and I always have her link down below. But this is the video where I go over my purchases and my empties and my beauty budget for the prior month. So we are looking at November and I am looking at 4 baskets of things that came into my collection. Now Novembers are typically my higher purchasing months just because of Black Friday and because I do stock up on items for the next year. But I do also have my bucket of empties here. So we have a lot of bigger containers in here that are making it look fuller than it actually is. But if you guys want to see how I did in November with my empties, and Washburn is coming right in on cue. But if you guys want to see how I did on my empties, my purchases, and my beauty budget in November, oh, he's smelling flowers. Look at that. Stick around. We're going to get into that right now. Mr. Washburn went to the vet today for his annual checkup, so he has been a little bit more clingy and a little bit more sleepy today just because he had an exciting morning, but that boy is 90 pounds. We thought he was going to be heavier than that just because he is a thick boy, but he is 90 pounds, which is still big, but the doctor says that he looks wonderful, he looks perfect, so we are very happy with that, especially because that is our boy that had double elbow surgery when he was 6 months old. So we are taking care of our pups. But like I said, I do have this popcorn bucket that I keep all of my trash in. And like I said, we have some bigger containers, so don't let the fullness of this fool you. Let me go ahead and pull everything out of the container as Jane also makes his way into my office, and then we will go over my empties for November. All right, so I have everything laid out in front of me, and like I said, lots of big containers that inflate the bucket, but definitely they don't inflate the actual price of all of my empties because, again, we're back to having some low months, but that is okay. The puppy dogs are going to be making noises. I know that you guys love them, but sometimes I'm just like, what's up, dude? This is Jane. I know you guys can't see him, but he's trying to figure out what bed he wants to lay in. But welcome to my life with 4 German Shepherds. Lay down, dude. Good boy. The bags under my eyes are bagging today. Well, number one, Jane had me up about 3 or 4 times last night to go outside. I don't know if it's tummy issues or just, he's going to be 14, probably just like old people. He has to get up and pee 3,000 times a night. So, but, I had a nightmare about like our truck, like driving off like the car, like the Weasley's car in Harry Potter, where it just like drove off into the woods because it was mad at them. Like I had a dream last night that my truck just like drove away into the woods by itself because I don't know if it was mad at me or what, but for like, it felt like an hour or more in my dream, I'm searching for our truck in the woods because I don't want to have to come home and tell my husband that the truck is mad at me and it went off into the woods by itself. I'm not touching that dream with a 50,000 foot pole, but that was my night last night. So I definitely have some bags under my eyes today. But let's get into my empties, weird dreams aside. Let's do my body care real quick. And body care is one of my categories that I track it in my inventory. I'm not worried about it. And also it doesn't come out of my budget, but I do track it, like I said, in my inventory, and I show you guys my empties. So first on the body care side is the Paula's Choice Weightless Body Treatment 2% BHA. I do have a full one of these that is in my 26 and 2026. I told you guys that I bought a bunch of these whenever I was struggling more with my KP and with my acne on my chest. And this was like a lifesaver. The, like, what is it? The First Aid Beauty KP Bump Eraser. that stuff didn't work for me. I know some people swear by it. It did not work for me, but an actual like BHA, like salicylic acid treatment on my skin, that's what my skin likes over physical exfoliants. So did use up one of these. And then the other body care, no, I have a couple different body care, but I did use up one of my Tree Hut scrubs. This one is in peach sorbet. I don't even want to think about the way that sorbet almost came out of my mouth. But this one, my husband actually did not like the scent of this one. It is a very like pink, not pink, Erin, peach daiquiri type of smell. And maybe because it is like kind of has that alcoholic tequila type of sharpness to it. Maybe that's not why he liked this one, but I went ahead and I used this up. It was in my shower and then I moved it towards the bathtub so that I could use this to just exfoliate before I shave. But this one is now done. The only scrubs that I have left are the peppermint ones, which those are the ones that he does like, so he doesn't come in the bathroom and be like, why does it smell like that in here? Now he likes it because I have the peppermint ones. So another body scrub down. Then the next body care item is one of my body oils. So this is the Neutrogena body oil. This is the light sesame formula. And this is the fragrance-free one. I do not like the fragrance of this. It's almost too flowery. And so I will show you guys, I rebought all of my body oils and I'll show you guys what I do with that in my purchases segment. But I did go ahead and I emptied another one of my body oils. So this one is done. Then one thing that I always keep for the year, but I don't necessarily, again, I don't charge myself for this. This is the Equate Eczema Relief Cream. I have eczema on my hands and now I have developed eczema on my face. Basically, the eczema is what is happening underneath my eye whenever my eye gets irritated. So I do have prescription strength stuff for when I do have a flare-up. But as far as keeping the flare-ups from happening, especially on my hands, I do use a crap ton of eczema cream. And what I actually do is I mix eczema cream with diabetic lotion, and that is what I use on my hands. I will slather myself with that. My dermatologist, my allergy doctor who primarily manages my eczema, he told me about the like 2-glove technique with cotton gloves. And so I also will use cotton gloves if I'm having a really bad breakout on my hands, which is getting colder, so that might happen. I also do have cotton gloves that I will slather myself and then put on cotton gloves and sleep in cotton gloves. Anything to keep the eczema at bay. So I do go through a bunch of these. I think last year I went through like 9 of these. And so I'm always just curious throughout the years, how many of these did I go through? Again, Equate is the Walmart brand equivalent. So anytime that I can save money on creams that I go through a lot, I am going to save money. Let's look at some skincare. So I did go through 2 of my Azure masks, and whenever I rolled all my masks into my 26 and 2026, I did go ahead and I numbered all of them. So number 1 and number 2, and basically these come in 5 packs. So once I have gone through 1 through 5, I consider that pack an empty, but I did go through 2 of these. I love the serum in these. I get them at TJ Maxx or Marshall's for $5 for 5 masks. Can't go wrong. So I did have some treat me moments in November, and I did 2 of my masks, which again is one of my goals. From the same brand, Azure, I get this all at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. I did get one of their collagen and hyaluronic anti-aging day creams. Again, with losing the weight and just with aging, I have had more sagging in my face because I lost a lot of the like fat and weight in my face as well. I actually looked back on one of my videos. It was my FabFitFun video for the fall of last year compared to the fall of this year. And I did a side-by-side of the 2 like thumbnails, and the amount of weight that I lost just in my face is crazy. But with that, comes loss of volume. But I gained cheekbones, but I lost a lot of that volume. So I know that, again, as you age, as things break down, there's only so much that you can do topically. There's also so much you can do like ingesting collagen. You know, there's no real science behind it actually helping. But for like $3 for a cream, I'm willing to slap it on my face. So again, this is not working miracles, but it is a very lovely cream, and I do like picking these up at Marshall's and TJ Maxx whenever I do find them. So I went through one of these day creams. I also went through my Garnier micellar water. So I have stopped washing my face in the mornings. I used to wash my face in the mornings back when I was struggling more with acne, and once I stopped struggling with acne, I stopped washing my face in the morning. I felt like I was stripping my face. I was causing more oils to come through. So now in the morning, to cleanse my face of any remaining like eye makeup, because again, eye makeup is so stubborn. But what I do is I do put some micellar water onto a Shiseido facial cotton, because I have to be so sensitive with my eyes with the type of cotton rounds. Like even the softest cotton rounds from Walmart will irritate my eyes. So the Shiseido facial cottons, I use those. I wipe down my face with micellar water. And what I actually do is I have an old micellar water container from, not Biossance. It was just in my head. But the one that starts with a B, it'll come to me in the weirdest way. But now I have to look it up because it'll bother the crap out of me. Bioderma. Didn't even have to look it up. Started to type into Google and it came to me. I have an old Bioderma container that has one of the like push down tops where the product comes up whenever you push it down. So I actually empty this into that, and that's how I use it, because in the morning I can't be bothered apparently to do this. So that is what I do with these. I have found a new appreciation for micellar waters. That is for sure. A hair empty that I have is my dry shampoo. So this is the Ava NYC Freshen Up Invisible Dry Shampoo with argan oil. I bought this before they had the other scent. So now I think they have like a vanilla scent. So I bought this before they came out with the other scent, but it still smelled good. So it's the regular Ava NYC smell. But I do like this. I think I put a comment on It's Just Steph's video. I think she was talking about this product in particular because me and her both have dark hair. So what I do with my dry shampoo, because I actually don't like the dry shampoos with the tint, I feel like the tint gets onto everything afterwards. I will dry shampoo my hair in the evenings because I know that I am... Number one, I'm not really doing much with my hair in the mornings. So if I am going to do anything with my hair, it's going to be at night. Since I only wash my hair like 2 times a week, I know what days. And really, I'm only using dry shampoo probably for the day before I actually wash, because I don't like the way that dry shampoo feels in my hair anyway. But circling back to what I told Steph, I put my dry shampoo in at night. Like I lift my roots, I get it all up in there. I don't scrub it in. I just spray it all in. I put my hair in my bonnet and I go to bed. In the morning, whenever I kind of rough up my hair or whenever I'm brushing my hair, that is when I'm working the rest of the product in, and I don't end up with a white cast. I don't end up with any issues, and the product actually absorbs all those oils at night. And then I end up waking up kind of feeling and looking like my hair is fresh. So that is how I end up using my dry shampoos, because like I said, I do not want a white cast, but I don't like the tinted ones. And my voice is already going. Let me get a sip of coffee. We took Washburn for a pup cup after his vet visit, but really it was because I wanted a coffee. Oh, I literally have this in my lap. Shiseido facial cottons. I'm holding it in my lap so it won't blow away. And I'm like, what do I have this bag in my lap for? Another empty. So I always get these at TJ Maxx or Marshall's. So I bought this pack for $8.99. So that is where I get my facial cottons. But I went through 135 pack. Is that what this one is? 165. So the big ones are 165 facial cottons. I did go through one of these, so that is an empty as well. And then I have 2 makeup empties for the month. This one I have talked ad nauseum about it, but my Kosas Cloud Set Powder and Candy, that one is an empty. You guys saw me pan this all year long in my project pan. So this is now a official makeup empty. Then the other empty is my ColourPop Creme Gel Liner in Get Paid. I was going to roll this into my 26 and 2026, and then I rolled it up and realized that there was like 2 millimeters of product left in here. And I was like, why? What am I doing? So I actually stuck this in my cup back there of, no, right there, of eyeliners that I focus on in like my Project 10 uses. I stuck this in there. I used it a couple more times and I used up this. So having an eyeliner empty for the year, I think I have 2 eyeliner empties for the year. That actually feels really, really good because eyeliners is one of those categories in my collection where I have a lot of stuff. But like I said, my lid did stay on, but just barely. If I probably snapped this closed a couple more times, that lid would go ahead and just pop off. So that is all of the empties I have. Let me look at my numbers. All right, like I said, not a whole lot of empties, but they're bigger, so they make the bucket seem like it is full. But with our empties, it is $115.07, so not much. That is kind of on par with where the rest of my numbers, like I think my lowest month was like $87. Yeah, no, actually my lowest month was January at $43 in empties. But I usually had about an $80 to $90 month. A couple of them were a little bit more, but I keep telling in this video, and this is where probably I'll say, you know, I'm not worried about the monetary goal anymore as long as I'm using my products, because nowadays I'm more conscious about buying things on sale, that the monetary value of these things is there, but I'm not worried about using more expensive products up first. I'm more worried about using my oldest products up first. But only $115 for the month. And let's look if that is, so that is included in my yearly. So I have $1,382.42 as my total so far for the year. I am shaping up to have a decent empties in December already, so that's going to be exciting. Once I go ahead and I put all of these in my empties bins, then I can put my items that are hiding over there into my bucket. So I'm excited to see about the empties in December, because if we can empty another foundation, that would be great. But we will have to see how that goes. But for right now, $115, we're sitting just under $1,400, which again is a lot less than I've done in prior years, but I'm focusing on my older products. And again, me looking at these 4 baskets of things, I'm like, Erin, what did you do? But these are all things that I'm going to use. So let me clean up all this and then let me pull my baskets over and we will look at my items that came into my collection and we will see how I did on my beauty budget. Because apparently November was the month that I was just like feeling like making it rain. So let me go ahead and do that. Let me get some honorable mentions out of the way first, and then we will go, I'm actually going to reapply my lip oil, but then we're going to go into the actual products that I ended up purchasing. This is the Merit one that I'm still trying to, I guess, get use on, because it'll need to get used up in 2026. So I told you guys that I emptied the last of my body oil and I did my concoction. So what I end up getting is I get the Dr. Teal's Shea Butter and Almond body oil, and this is also a bath oil, but me, I don't feel like slipping and falling in my bathtub, so I do not put oil in my bath. Then I also got the Palmer's Coconut Butter. So this is the moisturizing, what is this? No, this is the cocoa butter because I like the smell of this one. So I did get the cocoa butter Palmer's oil, and then I got another one of the fragrance-free Neutrogena sesame oils, mainly because the sesame oil is so thin that it actually does thin out these two products, because usually shea oil is a little bit of a thicker formula, so I like thinning it out. But basically what I do is I take all of these, I dump them into a measuring cup, I put them back into their bottles, and I will use these up. So this is what I do for my body oil. This will probably last me about 6 months. And even whenever I purchase these, because like I said, these don't go against my beauty budget because I'm not worried about my body care. The Palmer's one was $7.39. The Dr. Teal's one was $5.87. Obviously from Walmart, because they have weird numbers with their products. The most expensive one, and I actually have to order this one off of Amazon because I can't find it at my local stores, this one was $12.99. So if I do quick math in my head, which don't trust my math in my head, that is for sure. 13 plus 7 is 20 plus 6. Let's say $26. So for $26, I have 6 months worth of body oil. Very happy about that. So we will see those as empties as I empty them out. The other honorable mention, because I told you guys, I was like, remind me to talk to you about this. It is root spray. Like, where has this been my entire life? Because I dye my hair darker than it is naturally. So anytime my roots grow out, plus I have grays because I'm 41 years old, whenever my hair grows out, it makes my hair look like it's thinner than it actually is because my roots are lighter than the rest of my hair. And I'm also not going to dye my hair every 3 weeks. My hair typically grows about an inch per month. It has my entire life. So my hair grows fast. So root spray. I picked this up at my local grocery store. In Florida, we have Publix. So I picked this up at Publix, which is probably not the best place to buy it because Publix can be expensive. I think I paid $13 for this. I dye my hair with the Schwarzkopf brand, so I went with this one. But if you guys know another brand that is not, I don't care about price, kind of, but as far as color selection, longevity, like coverage, all of that, if you guys have other recommendations for root spray, and this is a 2-in-1, so this is actually like a thickening spray for your roots also, which I have noticed more volume at my roots whenever I use this, but I got it in the dark brown. It's a little bit cool toned for the like tinted red, kind of dye that I use. It is all up in my hair today. When you guys have been seeing, probably for the last month, that my hairline looks darker, my roots look darker, it is this. I have not dyed my hair. I need to, but it's been this. And this has been so, so great because the volume stays. And after this sets, probably after the first hour, once this sets, even if I brush my hands through my hair, I'm not getting the pigment on my hands. Sometimes I will set this down with a hairspray, but I'm already probably down to here on this. I could use one of these up in like a month and a half. That's how much I've been using this. So I love it. If you guys have recommendations for some root sprays, and again, I want enough coverage so that it's covering my grays, it's covering my roots. I like, again, that it's a 2-in-1, so it is kind of giving that volume and a little bit of hold. If you guys have some recommendations, let me know, because this is expensive. I might have to look up how much this is on like Amazon and see if it's any cheaper, but you guys, I know you guys always have such great recommendations. Let me know down below because I don't want to be dyeing my hair that often. That is for sure. Let me put my honorable mentions to the side and we will get into my actual products that go against my beauty budget. All right, basket number 1. This is at the very beginning of the month. I placed an order on Amazon and I like the iUnique sunscreen so much that I wanted to try their moisturizer. So this is the Centella Calming Gel Cream. And again, it is a gel formula. I have oily skin. I typically live in a hot and humid climate, but I also live in North Florida. So it gets cold here. But to me, like it is in the 50s and I am freezing. I actually had to turn off my space heater to start filming. I bought myself a heated blanket, and I've been sleeping with that, and it's been amazing. So, I can't handle the cold, but for a Florida native, it being anywhere between the 50s and 30s, that is cold. So, where was I going? Oh, that I typically have an oily skin type. So I wanted to try this. I do have some other moisturizers that I want to use up prior to starting this one. I think this will be actually a really good moisturizer for me to use in the summer, which again, Erin, why did you buy it in November if you're going to use it in the summer? But that's okay. This expires November of 2027, so I have time. Did I need it in my collection right now? Absolutely not. Was it fed to me by the Amazon algorithm? Yes, it was. So we're going to be trying this out. You guys will see it in an Empties sometime next year, and we will see what I think about that moisturizer. Then I also did a repurchase of my Moschino Toy 2. I used up one of these this year. I used up one of these maybe last year, and then I repurchased. So this is, if I can get the head off. Like I said, I wish I could buy it without the head. It is such a nice, fresh, nostalgic scent. If you're around my age, if you remember having your little $10 allowance and going into Claire's and picking out cheap jewelry that'll turn your neck green in like 3 weeks, or remember those little like black elastic chokers, or like all of the bracelets that we used to have that had like the mood changing stones on them. If you remember going into Claire's with your $10 of allowance, this smells like whatever they pumped into Claire's. And it's just so nostalgic. So this, I will wear this to bed. It smells so good. So I had to pick up another one. I can actually get these extremely cheap on Amazon, $30 for a 1.7. So this came back into my life. Absolutely. And because I started charging myself for my fragrances, that did come out of my beauty budget. Now let's go into, I did a Sephora order. This was during VIB. So I told you guys that I was replacing my Say Super Glowy Super Gel, and I was telling you guys that I was going to get the little trio pack, because how it came out with the actual amount of products in these is that you were buying like one full size and getting a half for free in the little kit, and then 15% off on top of that. And so I do have it in Star Glow, in Rose Glow, and in Sun Glow. So the Sun Glow is going to be our darkest shade, and this is going to be the one that's going to replace my e.l.f. Halo Glow and Tan. I'm trying to pump it out and pump just a little bit because I don't want to use too much of it. So I use that to darken up my foundations. So that is going to be my new foundation mixer, and I'm going to need to get myself a washcloth. But that's going to be my new foundation mixer when I finish up with Tan. Let me see what Rose Glow looks like, because like I said, I have not tried these yet. Oh, I didn't need to squirt a whole pump out, but that's okay. That is Rose Glow. And then Star Glow, I know what that looks like, but I'll do a pump for you guys, because that is the one that I've been using all year. So we have Star Glow, Rose Glow, and then Sun Glow. So those are the three Say Glowy Super Gels, and I am so excited about using these next year. Again, Star Glow I can pretty much use whenever it ends up kind of being translucent, and then when summertime rolls around, I can use Rose Glow to maybe deepen up things a little bit, and Sun Glow to deepen up even more if I need to. So very, very happy to have these. These are also going to be fun to track because they're airless pumps, but it's not like the full size that has the bag. So we will definitely be able to see these. I will probably end up just marking these every month just for funsies for myself once I start using all of these. So I did pick up that trio pack. And then you guys would have seen the blush, the colorful blush highlighter in pink sunset that I used to franken into my highlighters, and then I did repress it into the compact to make it its own product again. This was one of my sacrifice products, but it is just so pretty. That beautiful peachy color. I love this. So very happy to have this in my collection. And again, they had the 30% off. Oh my God, just look at that with the pigment and the shine on it. So pretty. So happy to have that one. And then I did pick up the Verb Ghost Oil gift set, which has the jumbo and the regular size together. So for this one, did I charge myself? Actually, yes, I did end up charging myself for this. Typically, I don't charge myself for hair care, but apparently during this order, I charged myself for everything. So I did charge myself for these two just because these two came out to be $30. So I wanted to be accountable for that in my budget. So love this. I told you guys in my reflecting video where I went over my purchases from last year that I love the Verb Ghost Oil. I've already used half of my current jumbo, so these are definitely things that I will end up getting through. So love those two pieces. I did end up stopping by Ulta and I picked up one thing. I went into Ulta and I picked up the one thing that I needed and then I got out. And that is a product from The Ordinary. So this is the retinol 0.5% in squalene. If I am going to do retinol, I like doing it in the oil. And again, only nighttime, so I don't mind slathering myself with oil. I am working through one of these right now and I'm down to about here. So I wanted to go ahead and I picked up a backup. I've gone through one or two of these already in the past. This is a product that I really do like, and I feel like it's an easier way for me to use a retinol and not feel like the sensitivity afterwards. So picked up another one of these. Very proud of myself that I went into Ulta and only came out with the one thing. But because my Ulta and my Marshalls are right next door to each other, I always do the little trot across the parking lot. And I'm going to pick these up probably anytime I see them. These are the only two that are under my sink. So the other ones that I have are by my sink, by my tub, and in my shower. So these are my only two in backup that are not opened, currently being used. And the one that is by my tub is almost done. So me constantly buying these is not a problem. It might become a problem, but it's not a problem yet. I did get these for $6.99. Yeah, $6.99 each, which is actually really good. A lot of times I will find these for like $8.99. So being able to find them for $6.99 and not on clearance. Somebody's dreaming. Is that Shep? I think Shep is dreaming down there. So got two more of these. And then what I ended up replacing my micellar water with, and I don't know if I like this as much as the Garnier one, but this was at Marshall's as well. I got this for $4.99. And this is the Simple Micellar Cleansing Water. So it's just the Simple brand. So I wanted to go ahead and give this a try. I don't really use waterproof makeup, so I don't ever get the waterproof remover or micellar water from Garnier. I don't like that it feels oily, especially because a lot of times I'm using this to just cleanse my face in the morning. I don't want it to leave an oily residue, which a lot of times you need that oil to break down waterproof stuff. So since I'm using this just as a cleansing water in the morning time, I wanted something that just left my face feeling clean. So did pick up this. I will see how I like it. I'll use it. We'll go from there, but I'm pretty sure I will go back to the Garnier. But that was everything in my, don't know if I could do this without dropping it, my first basket. So let me put the first basket to the side and let me pick up basket number 2 and we will keep going. We'll line my baskets of shame up behind me so you guys can see all the things that I ended up purchasing in November. But I will make a spoiler. I didn't go over my budget. So, still proud of myself for that one. Let's see. Oh, I didn't order from Elf, which I have no business doing? But the fear of missing out got me again because they took these off of Ulta. So Ulta is no longer selling these. I know these are still kind of like a limited run. I don't know the next time that Elf will come out with them. Probably next year, and then the joke will be on me. But I had a bunch of points on Elf's site, so I did go ahead and I picked up 4 more of my Jelly Pops. So now I have number 21, 22, 23, and 24. Now that does not mean that I have 24 of them in backup. It just means that this is the 24th Jelly Pop primer that I have purchased. So if that doesn't tell you what my favorite primer is, I don't know what to tell you. When you guys see how I store my makeup, kind of how I do my inventory, you guys will actually see how I store all of these. But I do intentionally, like, I write in Sharpie and then I put a piece of tape over it so that it won't rub off. But I want to know in what order do I need to use these things. So I typically use about 4 of them a year. So do I have 3 years worth of Jelly Pop primers? Absolutely I do. And it's okay. It is okay. We listen and we don't judge because I will judge myself. And I'm okay with that. I did go ahead and I picked up 2 of the Halo Glow loose powders, and I got both of these in light pink. I told you guys in my reflecting video that I do mix a container of this in with my Nikia Joy loose velvet finishing powder. So I take a whole powder of that, a whole powder of this, mix them together, put them back in their components. That's how I like using my loose powder. So because I knew I was picking up more of my Nikia Joy powders, I wanted to go ahead and pick up more of these while I had a discount as well. So I picked up 2 of these, and again, number 6 and number 7. So we know that this is a product that I go back to time and time again because I have repurchased plenty of them. More repurchases. They did change the packaging on these. Let me get my old one. So the old one is kind of a frosted plastic, where I think these are either, yeah, it's opaque white plastic. So hopefully I can still see through them. I'm sure I can if I hold them up to the light, but they did change the packaging. Like this used to be a matte feel packaging, and now this is just shiny plastic. So hopefully the product is still the same, but this is the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. Love these. This is number 9 and number 10. So again, something I go back to all the time. These will get used up next year. And the last thing that I got was a free mascara. So if you purchased a certain amount on the website, then you did get a free gift. They threw in the Big Mood mascara. I've never tried it. Hopefully it doesn't flake or smudge because I have oily eyelids. Everything likes to flake and smudge, not flake. Everything likes to smudge on me. Very few things flake on me, but as soon as they flake on me, they're out of here. So I can usually work with some smudging if it's not too bad, but we will go ahead and try this out. I don't keep a whole lot of mascaras in my collection, so that is something that will get used up sometime next year. But let me put back my empty bottle and we will move on to my next purchase. You guys knew this one was coming because I told you guys that I was doing it. So during like the pre-Black Friday, because Black Friday started at the beginning of the month apparently, they did put Sniff like 40% off on Ulta. And I told you guys that I loved Crumb Couture so much. I'm actually almost done with the mini that came in the set with the Berry Styles body spray. I'm almost done with that. So I told you guys that I was going to go ahead and pick up the full size, and they give you a full size with another mini. So I have another travel or mini size along with the full size. Of course, I have not started using these because I'm going to use up my mini first, but this is so good. And blessed, I was watching Angie's channel the other day, and she was talking, it was the new releases. So Sniff is coming out with a Crumb Couture Almond, which I want to get my nose on that one. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Almonds sometimes can smell like cherries, so I'm curious if it'll be like an almond or if it'll be cherry almond. But I am very, very excited to smell that one. That might be a mini, just because I don't think I need a full size in another crumb couture, even if it is an offshoot of an almond. But Angie was saying, she was just like, she doesn't like too gourmand. And she was talking about like she doesn't want raccoons coming up to her thinking that she's the snack. And in the back of my head, I was like, girl, but you want to smell like you live in the forest with the raccoons. And again, this is not shade. This is, Angie is Angie. She talks about wanting to smell like she's covered in moss. But I was like, you want to smell like you live in the forest with the raccoons. I want to smell like I just rolled out of the bakery and the raccoons are coming for me. Either way, both of us are stuck with raccoons. Just depends on the environment that you want to be stuck in raccoons with. So I don't mind smelling like the snack. I am completely okay with smelling like a snack. And she did say this is not for everyone. And 1000%, because to me, this is like it has a sweet yeastiness. And again, stay with me. Everyone's like, who wants to smell like yeast? But there is a smell that yeast gives off when it's in bread. And I love bread. Two different stories. When we were younger, because I grew up in Tampa, there is a huge Cuban culture down there. So for one of our field trips, they actually took us to like an authentic, like the oldest Cuban bakery in the area, and they were making fresh Cuban bread. And when I tell you that I whipped out my allowance so quick to buy a loaf of Cuban bread so that I could just eat it for the rest of the tour, when I became an adult and I had my own money and I had my own car, I would drive down to this Cuban bakery just to buy fresh Cuban bread to go home and just dip it in like country crock and just go to town. So give me bread. I want to smell like a delicious, flaky loaf of bread. This is delicious, flaky croissant. So it's bread plus butter. Give me all of it. So I am completely okay with smelling like a delicious yeasty dough. You have to smell it. And when you add something fruity on top of this, so my Berry Styles spray, which is from Sniff, that came with it. Again, you smell like a berry crumble kind of thing, like a cobbler. Yes, I want to smell like a berry cobbler. The Ralph Lauren Romance that I got that is very scented of raspberries. Again, you end up smelling like a raspberry jam on a croissant. Absolutely. So it's also picking the different scents to layer with this, because I'll spray this on myself and just be in my house. But if I'm going out, I usually add a little bit of something fruity to it so that people don't think that I've just been like rolling in croissants all day, which again is not necessarily a bad thing. I don't mind smelling like I rolled in croissants all day. And we're reapplying again. This stuff wears off in about 3 minutes, but that's okay, because this is how you end up getting rid of your products, as you use them. So all that to say, very happy with this purchase. Again, I do charge myself for my perfumes now, so this did come out of my beauty budget, but that was everything. If I put this box back into this basket, this is everything in basket number 2. So this was Elf, and this was also Crumb Couture. So this one can go behind me also, but this was everything we picked up in basket number 2. Basket number 3. So this is where I did my Black Friday shopping, or kind of like leading up to Black Friday. So this again is a repurchase. You guys would have seen this in my reflecting video, and those are my Slay All Days from Gerard Cosmetics. This is the setting spray that I really, really do enjoy. This is my long-lasting setting spray, while the e.l.f. one brings down the powders and it brings a little bit of dewiness back to my skin. But I do get it in coconut, so it is a white liquid in there. But yeah, so I bought 2 of these. These were 50% off, so $10.78 each. So got 2 of these. I don't have my numbers on these ones, but what numbers are these? Like I said, I've been buying these for years. Number 10 and number 11. So, constant repurchase. Then I did my Nikia Joy order. So let me make some noise and then I will show you guys what I got. I will say on the website they were offering free gifts if you spent a certain amount of money. So I did end up with a free product. Let me get another nip of coffee. And so I did get 3 of the loose setting powders. Now one of these was the free gift. So one of these was a freebie. So these are the 2 that I actually purchased out of my beauty bank, but I did end up with 3 of them. So those will go, this is probably a year and a half of powder. So I don't know if I will need to place an order for powders next November. I will have to see what my inventory looks like, because I have a powder that I'm working through right now, like a powder mix that I'm working through right now. Then I have a full one of these, and then I have these 3. So I have 4 full Nikia Joy powders in the wings waiting to go. And again, you guys will see all of this organized into my drawers. Now, something that I wanted to go ahead and give a try, she came out with a primer. And if you guys have ever watched Nikia Joy, if you know her, she is an oily gal also. She lives in Australia, so typically hot. Maybe the temperature is kind of like here, where it's hot most of the year and then it's cold during the winter times, but she has oily skin. So I wanted to try her primer. It comes in this beautiful black packaging. It has a little kind of slide over thing, so you're not going to pump out, you can travel with it, even though I don't travel. Everybody's like, oh, you can travel with it. Girl, you don't go nowhere. And I'm talking to myself. I don't go nowhere. I don't travel. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't have money for somebody to come watch my dogs. I don't travel. I stay home. I watch my dogs. I love my bed. That is what I'm doing. But I wanted to try her primer. So this is the matte base primer. And so I want to go ahead and give this a try. This will get used sometime in the summertime. I do not need a matte primer right now because it is cold. I still get oily, but it's cold. So I'm going to put this to the test. And okay, so I was in Marshall's yesterday. Again, I have no business being in there. I was like, oh, I'm going to go get dog toys. Did I end up in the makeup and skincare section? Absolutely. Did I also get dog toys? I did. So dogs have toys for Christmas. But they had the NARS Matte Complete Foundation in Mont Blanc there, which is 1 shade higher. So it's lighter. 1 shade lighter than I usually am. I'm Yukon, so that's 2.5. Mont Blanc is 2. They had it for $14, and they had like 7 of them. I almost bought them, but I opened a couple of them, and it was like yellow where it had been sitting for too long. And I was like, number one, so this is what I did in my brain. Okay, they're older already. I'm not going to use this until next summer. I've panned one of those before, and it took me 9 months to pan. I do not need a foundation to sit in my collection for another year to get used for 9 months, especially when it's already old. So I put that back. I texted Andy. I was like, be proud of me for a second. I need validation that I did the right thing, that I walked away from one of my favorite foundations at TJ Maxx. Sometimes it's the little things in life that are accomplishments. But circling back to my Nikia Joy order, I did order brushes. So I actually ordered 2 brushes, but one of them is a repeat, and I want to talk about that. So they had these, again, they were maybe 40% off. So they were $9.80 each, which is actually really good. I love Nikia Joy's brushes. I tried her brushes whenever she first launched brushes and launched her brand. I tried her brushes. I've had her brushes for years. They are wonderful. So getting them for under $10 each feels really good because they are really good quality. So I did get the EO4, the Pro Blend, which is this domed type of brush right here. Again, this one is really, really good. It's a little bit, it is a little bit stiffer. So actually I like this one for the outer V type of work, getting in there and packing on that color in that area that I want it. And then the other one that I got is the EO6, the Precision Blend. Now I want to talk about this brush because I have an EO6 Precision Blend from when she first launched. And I don't know, you should be able to see on camera that these have a different cut from each other. So this one on this side, the more tapered one, let me put it in front of my face. The more tapered one is from when she first launched her brushes. The more long one is from now. But these are the same brush. These are the EO6. And look at how different they are. I don't know if the cut is just, like, I almost feel like this one didn't get cut. Because this one has this nice tapered, like, look on it. And it's a little bit, it's not firmer, but it has a little bit more give on it. This one, like I said, it looks like the bristles didn't get cut. And it's just different. Like it holds its like weird shape. Like, let me put it in front of my face because I'm pale. This way, Erin. So like it holds its shape whenever I pinch it versus this one, it just stays tapered. So I don't know if I should get with customer service again and be like, this brush is different than the one that I've purchased before. They're both EO6s. They're both from Nikia Joy Cosmetics. I mean, like I said, Nikia Joy Cosmetics. They're both EO6s. Precision Blend. Does it pick it up? So these are the same. These are supposed to be the same brush. They are not. Again, I'm sure I can use this one, but it wasn't what I was ordering. So I might contact customer service just to be like, hey, quality check. You might want to look at what these are coming back as because it doesn't even feel like the same amount of brushes or bristles. Someone rang the doorbell. So of course, mayhem in the house. But you guys tell me, what would you do? Would you just be like, okay, cool, I just have a different brush, or would you actually like reach out to the company? Like, I don't want to be a Karen about it, but it's not what I ordered. So you guys let me know. Be my moral compass down in the comment section and let me know what you guys would do in that situation. I don't want to be, you know, a makeup Karen. And now my shirt. So I feel like I should go like patrol the streets of Miami and like very Dexter. My favorite part of Dexter is it at the end of season 1 where he's having like the daydream and everybody's like cheering for him whenever they actually find out like what he's done. And they're like, thanks for keeping the streets safe, Dexter. That's what I feel like right now. But that's everything I picked up from Nikia Joy. Then I did my Black Friday order from Sephora and I picked up a couple things. So they had a bunch of stuff like 50% off. So the first thing that I picked up is another one of the Dr. Jart ceramiding creams. This is the full size one, which is typically $50. But my skin really loves this cream as far as if my barrier is kind of broken down. So this is it's the yellow tube. I have the green one as well, but I do love the yellow tube. And I actually really enjoy using this during the summertime because it kind of leaves my face with a matte feel, but it still is moisturizing. So I did pick up one of these for $25 because again, it was 50% off. let me open the door again and let the dogs back in because my husband is done making his lunch. Because otherwise I have 3 German Shepherds that just jam against the door in the hallway. So I did pick up one of those. I did get a full size of the Lancome mascara, which this is kind of my new mascara that I love. I have it on today from the mini trial size. No, that's a Nara. Hi, baby girl. Hi, baby. Oh, God, Wash is going to get jealous. Welcome to having multiple dogs. They all get jealous of each other. That's Washburn. Nope, I don't need your help today. I don't need your help. Thank you. Thank you. You have something on your nose. What did you get on your nose, buddy? Okay, so full size. This is the Lash Adole, so the Lash Lifting Volumizing Mascara. I love the wand on this one. I can show you guys in my mini. But this one is pretty much gone. I'm going to put this in my empties for December. But it has this really interesting brush to it that, again, you can really get under there and push your lashes up. So I really, really like this. I ended up picking up a mini of this from Ulta last month whenever it was on sale. But then they had the full size on sale for half off. So I did pick up the full size as well. Then the last thing that I picked up from Sephora is one of these collagen masks. So my algorithm has been feeding me these dang collagen masks that apparently you leave on overnight and they turn like clear. So I wanted to see what was up. I want glass skin. I want my pores to disappear. So I'll give it a try. So this is a 4-pack and this is from the Biodance. And the Bio Collagen Real Deep Mask. And again, it comes in the 2 pieces and you put it on and then glass skin in just one night. So we will see. This was on sale as well as part of the Black Friday deals. So I did go ahead and I picked up this. So I will be opening this up and trying this out. I don't know if I can sleep all night in a mask because I am a side sleeper. So, which I know a couple of you guys have been like, hey, would you ever do a video on like your GLP-1 journey or kind of like how all of that's going? I don't mind doing it as part of like a chatty get ready with me, but I would want to know what you guys want to know. But for like just a weird tidbit, I can only sleep on my left side now. If you think about your anatomy and which way your stomach empties, I can only sleep on my left side. If I sleep on my right side, the next day is not okay. So I can only sleep on my back or I can sleep on my left side. And I usually choose my left side because I'm a side sleeper. So me having a mask on all night, like I don't understand how people do like the morning shed when I wake up like a raccoon came and had a party in the middle of the night. But freebie. So this was one of the gift with purchases. This is again the Say Super Glowy Super Gel. I'm just going to name it whatever I want. This is in Rose Glow. So actually this is going to go to Andy. She had texted me the other night and she's like, do I need the Say Glowy Super Gel? And I was like, do you have other products that already work like that? I said, for what? She said, to mix in with foundations. I said, do you already have products that you can use in that same exact way? She said, yes, like 5 of them. I was like, then you don't need it. And she said, fine. So I was her voice of reason. I was a little angel on her shoulder that said she didn't need it. But what I told her was I was like, I just got one of the Rose Glows in for free. So the next little care package that I put together for Andy, I'm going to go ahead and send this over to her and she will get to test that out and not have to spend her own money, which is what this community is all about, is sharing is caring. So that was everything that I picked up from that basket, which basket number 3, everything in there. So let me put basket number 3 aside. We have one more basket and I'm at 1 hour and 4 minutes. You guys love my long videos and I'm glad you do because can't help it. But basket number 4 coming our way. So my next purchase, I am totally blaming on one of you. Because when I was talking about the green shade in the Trick or Treat palette and how it's kind of changed formula, you guys were like, oh, well, you know there's a green shade in Angie's own palette from her own brand that is very much like that green. And I was like, say less. So, if you're wondering what's been on my eyes, it's this. So this is the first time that I've used this palette. This is the Agate Temptation palette from Singe. This is what we're looking like on the inside. And we do have that wonderful, lime green in a matte. And then I think they're talking about either this shade or this shade here as our kind of dupes. I don't know if these are going to be as vibrant as the green shade in the Trick or Treat palette, but I will definitely give those a try. And so again, it is greens and browns and oranges, and I couldn't resist. And I really, really like Angie's formula because again, she is also in her 40s. She also deals with creasing of her eyeshadows. And so this is what I came up with today. This is using 3 shades. So far I am enjoying it, but I'm curious. So it is crystallized and quartz are the 2 greens. And let me just do some swatches. Okay, so it's quartz. Quartz is what they're saying is similar. And I think that again, the one in the Trick or Treat palette is going to be more of that like Halloween green, which I understand. That's the whole point of it. But you can kind of see crystallized right there. It's a little bit of a duochrome. And then, of course, quartz. I'm going to get the Trick or Treat palette real quick and just swatch the other green next to it just to see how close we can get. So, of course, this is her collab with Odin's Eye. So we're looking at that green. And again, not dupes of each other. As I'm trying to, let me do this without dropping stuff. Definitely not dupes of each other, but we are looking at some similarities. Most definitely. This one is going to be more up my alley, but of course I do love the shadows in the Trick or Treat palette. But let's look at Witch's Brew, because again, it is just, I feel like the binders have separated. So it's a very different, it's a different shade. So there's Witch's Brew, and then there is Quartz. So different shades, but I think they will give that same effect. And even if I have Witch's Brew and then top it with something like Quartz, that'll still be a very, very pretty shade to use. It's just something has gone on with this shade and the formula is not the same anymore. Something has separated, something. It's just not the same. But definitely love the Singe formula. The Paisley Hoot, I've already used that one. Like I said, I've only used 3 shades, but the shimmers in here are very much what you will expect. I have Silica. So the shade that's on my lids right now is Silica, which again, even on my lids, it looks so much different than what is on my finger because you end up catching that reflect in there. So pretty. So pretty. I am very excited about dipping into more of these, including Fire and Translucent. Oh, those 2 just look so pretty. Translucent is going to be one of those shades that just transforms so much. But her shimmers are so thin, but still have so much impact. And again, that is great for somebody with creasy eyelids, 40-year-old, 41-year-old creasy eyelids. So I did pick up another palette. She was having her Black Friday sale, so I did take advantage of that and got that on a little bit of a deal. And now I'm covered in glitter, which that is not really a horrible position to be in. But let's look at I placed my last order from Ulta because, again, they were doing their Black Friday stuff. So I did pick up another Pillow Balm, and I picked up an Ice Crystal. And I remember getting Ice Crystal in my holiday pack a couple years ago, and I was like, who would like this? It is a blue sparkle. Me. I would like this. So when I was panning this, I loved it so much that once I was done panning it, I missed it. So I did go ahead and picked up, is that right? Yes. Sounded weird in my head. I picked up Ice Crystal again, and it doesn't hurt that it smells like blue raspberry candy. So this is going to be another Hangover RX balm in my collection. I also picked up, they were doing their half off or their $14 mascaras, and my other mascara that I love is the Clinique High Impact. Let me also reach in my drawer because I'm currently using one. So this is the brush. It just adds volume. It's for more of those days that I want to do like a more natural kind of eye look, but you can build some decent volume with this. But I have gone through so many of these. So when I was able to get this one for $14, I did go ahead and I picked up another one of my high impact mascaras. And then you guys would have seen this in my reflecting video, but I did pick up another one of the Shea Moisture Intense Hydration Hair Masks, and this is the Manuka Honey and Mafrula Oil, and I love this. So this one is going to be my next conditioner slash hair mask. So that is everything that has counted. Now I did place a Black Friday order with I Love Nail Polish, and I'm going to show you guys really quickly the polishes that I picked up. I told you guys that I had some polishes in my wish list and I was going to place an order when everything went on sale, and then I will look at my polishes to do my declutters. So I did pick up another base coat, mainly because I am almost done with my current base coat. Like, it's getting to the point where I'm like having to like tip and do all the little tricks to get the base coat out of the bottom. So I did pick up another base coat. I do like their base coat. I still have not been able to find a base coat that doesn't, if my nail polish is on for more than 4 or 5 days, it'll start to peel up on its own. And I mean, like, it peels completely off like I have a peely base coat on. I did want to get a nail strengthener. That's actually what I forgot to buy one of those at Walmart, but I do want to get a nail strengthener because I will say, when I started painting my nails more often, my nails got thinner. So I don't want to go back to not painting my nails, but I do want to focus on nail health. Like, I haven't been able to grow them long because by the time they grow out, they're so thin that they end up breaking. So I'll have to figure out what to do. But I just bought more nail polish, so I need to be using my nail polish. So I did pick up 3 more of my favorite jelly formula. 2 of them are from the like stormy and rainy collections, and that is these 2 right here. I did pick up Jumping Puddles, which is this beautiful, like almost blue jean color, and it's that jelly that has the like iridescent sparkle or flake in it. So this is Jumping Puddles, and then this one here is Storm Watch, which again is this beautiful gray with that flake in there. I did get Jumping Puddles because my Pitter Patter, which is a lighter gray in the same kind of family, but that one is in my 26 and 2026, and also that one is already half done. So I did pick up Storm Watch. I did pick up Storm Watch to kind of be a replacement for that one. I did pick up one of the jellies from the Halloween collection, and this one is in Jinx. So it is a black jelly with those multicolored fire flakes in there. Look at that. I am so excited to put this on my nails. Actually, this might be a really fun like New Year's polish. So I might have, because it looks like fireworks. So I might need to put this on as my New Year's polish. You guys will have to see. Maybe that will be the polish that I'm wearing during my inventory. video. And then I did pick up 3 of the more like glittery sparkle ones. And so this one here is in Evermore. And this one is a hollow or an iridescent, so it does change color whenever you see it from different angles. And so this one has more of like a rose gold base, and then it has that hollow glitter in there. So this one will be so, so pretty. And then I did pick up Teddy, which is one, I think these are more of their velvet formulas. And so it is just a beautiful velvet sparkle. And then what I actually have on my nails today, I just painted my nails today before I started filming, is Velveteen. And look at this beautiful shade. So, so pretty. It has that kind of like mauvey gray base coat to it. So, so pretty. So these are the 6 polishes. Do it without dropping things. 6 polishes that I got plus the base coat. So I think I Love Nail Polish was 25% off. So I did get those again for 25% off. And that is basket number 4. That's everything. I'm not missing anything else. There's nothing else hiding. I have already made some purchases for December, but as far as for November, that is everything I have purchased. Reapply number 4 for the video. So let's talk about money because I preach being accountable to my budget. And now that I've gone, I was going to say 117, no, an hour and 17 minutes of products. Let's look how I did with my budget. So you guys know with my beauty budget, I have $75 a paycheck that goes straight from my checking account into a savings account, and I pay myself back for my purchases out of my savings account. I don't typically charge myself for tools or for hair care. Like I said, I did charge myself for those Verb Ghost oils. I don't know why, but apparently I did. That's what my spreadsheet said. So I did reimburse myself the $30 for the Verb Ghost oils. Otherwise, $75 a paycheck goes into the account. I pay myself back. I don't charge myself tax or shipping. I am able to do that with my current income. In the past, I could not do that, and I had to charge myself for tax and shipping. The full purchase price, I had to charge myself for that. I don't have to do that right now. But if you're in the circumstance with your beauty budget that you can't float the extra on your own, charge it out of your beauty bank. I've had to do it before in the past. So with that, we ended October with $391.66 in my beauty budget. I had 2 paychecks in November, so we added $150 to that price or to that full bank. I spent $453.94. The print is very small. I need to make that a little bit bigger for my old eyes. $453.94. So let's call it $454. So I ended November with $87.72 still in my beauty bank. And that's with 2 more paychecks in December. So that will add an additional $150. So I will still have $237 to spend for the rest of the year. I will definitely have extra left over by the end of the year. I have not spent that much so far. Knock on wood. It is the 8th. So we still have the rest of the month, but I don't think I need anything else. I'll see how I end up doing at the end of the year. We'll see how I do. But as far as I ended up recalculating and recalibrating some of my numbers because I started charging myself for my fragrances. So my total budget for the year is the $1,950. That's $75 times 26 paychecks. So just under $2,000 for the year. I had for makeup, skincare, and palettes, I had my budget. Now that I have changed the way that I'm doing my budget and I'm charging myself for my perfumes, I had to give myself a perfume budget. So looking at my projected for the end of the year, I don't think I'm going to be buying any more pallets until the end of the year. So I capped myself off. So with my budget, you guys will see, hopefully I'm popping it up down here somewhere. All right, I had to move some numbers around because it was including my purchases so far for December. So I had to move some stuff. So I have a total budget for makeup for $900. It used to be $1,000. So I deducted $100 from that to go towards perfumes. So I have spent $750.39 so far, and so I do have a remainder of $149.61. Now, do I think that I'm going to spend another $150 in makeup for the end of the year? Absolutely not. So we will definitely have some leftover in that category. I used to have $550 in skincare because that is what I spent last year on skincare. I did take $100 from that budget as well, and so we had a budget of $450. I've spent $393.08 so far, so I have $56 left over for skincare. For palettes, I had $450 in palettes because again, that is what I had used the prior year. So we had $450 in palettes. I've spent $222 on palettes so far. So again, I stole money from there to go towards perfumes. So I gave myself a budget of $222 for palettes. I spent $204. Now, I gave myself a budget of $222 because I did purchase a palette in December, and that $222 will account for that palette. So that's $17.75. I bought a palette for under that much in December, so you guys will see that palette, but that will be my entire budget for the year for my palettes. So being able to steal that money over, I gave myself the total budget of $378 for my fragrances. I have spent $369.76, so I have $8.24 left. So that means I either need to steal more money if I want more fragrance, or I just need to not spend on fragrance for the rest of the year, which we can do that. That'll be my goal. No more fragrances for the rest of the year. As far as my hair care, I have spent a total of $54.59 on my hair care so far this year. Not a whole lot. Now, that doesn't include like my root spray, like that kind of stuff. Like if I'm buying like a Dove hairspray for $6, I'm not putting that on my budget. I'm just not. If I'm buying a root spray, now if they're going to be $14 from now on, I might end up having to put those. But that kind of stuff, I'm not putting those on my budget, and that might be cheating a little bit, but those are things that like get thrown in my cart at Walmart when I need them. I'm not using up hairspray every 3 months. I'm using up a hairspray like once a year. Those I consider like deodorant. So I'm not worried about those. And on my beauty tools, I've spent $120.20 on those. Until that gets out of control, I'm not worried about those. But with coming up on needing to find a new favorite sponge brand, I might, depending on how much the sponges end up being, I might have to start looking at my beauty tools if I end up needing to buy a more expensive sponge. But overall, I feel like I've done really, really well. As far as all of my totals, including my tools and my hair care, still comes in under my beauty budget. So technically, I could charge myself for all of it. So that feels really good also. And again, at the end of the year, I might just either roll stuff over or use some of the extra money for Botox or whatever I decide to do with it, or I might pay myself back for the hair care and for the tools. I don't know. I'll have to tell you guys in January what I decide to do when I see what my actual end of the year budget. But looking forward at my budget, I think I want to keep my budget where it's at. $75 a paycheck. That is working out fine. I feel like I've stocked up on enough things that I have makeup for the next year. I have skincare for probably the next 6 months. So I shouldn't need a whole lot of restock stuff going forward in the next couple months. I'm really curious if I should look at doing like a no buy or a no buy in January and February, just because these are times that I'm not needing things. I'm very interested to see what my inventory numbers are going to be because I don't know what they're going to be yet. But I'm very curious. All of this stuff fits in my collection right now. Everything that I brought in, it all fits. It has a place. I'm not like overflowing into other areas of my household with these items. So that still feels good. As long as my collection can stay contained in the 2 units that I have, I think I still feel good about that. So we're doing well on the beauty budget. I'm still in the positive. Now, did I go negative at the beginning of the year? I thought I remembered. No, that was last year. Last year I went negative in January just because we started fresh and I ended up buying a crap ton of the Jelly Pops. But this year I've not had a month where I went negative. Everything has been compiling. I don't feel bad about the items that I brought in. All of the items that I brought in are things that will get used. And again, when I do my video that will be up on the 17th, I'll go a little bit more in depth about my spreadsheets, how I'm tracking, how I'm feeling about my collection, how I'm storing everything, how everything has its place. I'll go more into depth in that video about that. But for right now, that is where I'm at with my buys and buys. I don't want to change my budget. I think my budget is where it should be. It's not unobtainable and it's not bringing so much in. Like it's throttling just enough. It gives me just enough maybe buffer to buy those more expensive things that I might want, like my perfumes, but it still doesn't let me go hog wild. So this actually feels really good. I think this is the sweet spot for me. So I think that this is going to be the budget that I continue into next year. I'm just very curious how it will end up looking next year. Because like I said, I think I've only brought in like 3 or 4 palettes for the entire year, which is a stark difference to prior years. So I just have been content with my collection, which I guess that was the whole point of all of this, of me being consciously consuming, is to get to the point of being content. And I am. So that feels good. But otherwise, I'm going to go because I have a lot of stuff to put away. All of my baskets. Lots of stuff to put away. So if any of this surprised you, if you guys have any recommendations for a root spray that's cheaper than that one, leave them down below. Help a girl out. But that is what I have for you guys. I'm going to go to the post office and mail off those palettes to my friend so that she can reuse them for her art. And then I also have to pick up gift cards for all of our like delivery drivers. I give like UPS and post office people, I give them all gift cards for the holidays. So I got to pick up their presents for delivering all of our stuff to us throughout the year. But I do appreciate you guys being here. I'm going to encourage you to do all of the YouTube things. Hit a thumbs up on this video if you guys are enjoying my content. If you're new or lurking, and also a big fat welcome to more people that are joining me. That is giving me even more imposter syndrome. So thank you for that. Washburn has decided to join us. I think he knows when I'm doing my outro so that he like comes and he's like, oh, I need to be a part of this. But if you are part of the new cohort that has found me, welcome. And if you've made it this far in the video, you are the MVP. Trust me. Welcome to my long videos. But I do appreciate you guys. Yeah, if you're new, if you're lurking, if this suits your vibe, if you want somebody chattering in the background while you get other stuff done around your house, hit that button down there. Join in the community. There's also a lot of really helpful stuff that happens in my comment section. So I have a very active community here in my comment section, and I reply back and we make recommendations. We talk about things. So if you also want to kind of be active down there, keep it adult. Don't be a jerk because I'll delete your stuff. Because I am very like protective of my people that are in my little community. So I will protect them if somebody is down there acting a fool. But otherwise, leave me that comment down below. Let me know how you guys are doing. I know a lot of you guys were not shopping during Black Friday, but what do you think about my little things that I ended up bringing in? Any comments, any suggestions? Let me know down below. You guys know I enjoy our conversations, but otherwise I'm going to go. I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here as all the puppy dogs are sleeping. I hope that you guys all have a beautiful day, and I'm going to catch you in my next one.